What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Address Your Stress, where we help you face some of life's biggest stressors. And today we are talking about the physical symptoms of stress because a lot of people seem to think that stress is strictly mental. Like they think it's just a mindset thing, or I'm too blessed to be stressed, or if I just put my mind to it, I won't allow the stress to affect me. And that's just not true. It's false information because the reality is stress just doesn't affect you mentally. It doesn't just affect you spiritually. It doesn't just affect you, in the intangible kind of ways, which is really not tangible. Brain health is very tangible, but it affects you physically as well. And we talked a little bit about that before, but I really wanted to go a little deep dive so that you can really identify if you are going through a stressful time or if your body is feeling the results of the stress. Even my mother talked about one day, she told me that, I don't really get bothered by things. Like I don't really allow situations to hurt me, to bother me. And I'm that kind of person just to keep on keeping on. I'm the little engine that could just chug it, 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 right? But the reality is the body doesn't respond like that. When the body is going through different circumstances, tension starts to build up in certain areas of her life. And with my mom in particular, she talked about that she really finds that she gets what's called stress knots in her shoulders, in her neck, in her back, because that's where the stress for her body begins to build up. And recognizing those things is where you really can start to target those areas and say, okay, I need to deal with my stress in this way. Because when it affects you physically, you got to have some coping skills or specific strategies to address the physical stress. And then when it's addressing you mentally, you got to have the strategies to affect the mental stress and so on and so forth. And so today, first, we got to identify, y'all know I say you can't change what you refuse to identify. So we're going to talk about the physical stressors. So again, we talked a little bit already, but stress knots, muscle tightness. The most infamous areas are our neck, our shoulders, our traps, this area, if you're watching on YouTube, and our lower back. So this is especially those of you who have sitting jobs. So if you're leaned over like I am on this desk, so let me change up a little bit. If you're leaned over on your desk, or if you're sitting in a funny way, or if you're in a job where you're moving stuff all day, then you probably are building up physical stress in these particular areas. Not to mention those of you who are, standing all day on your feet, your legs, your muscles are under a lot of pressure all day. So you got stuff that's probably building up there. Another area is you may mess around and get sick out of nowhere. Like I'm not talking about this time, those of you who are watching this in real time, not this sickness that is happening in our cities here and there, but I'm talking about like out of nowhere, you just start to feel ill. Like you got a lingering cough, or you just start sneezing out of nowhere. Like you got stuffed up nose. And the way that this happens is that stress really impacts and halts our immune system. Like if it's left unchecked, and if we're not properly dealing with the stress, it's going to affect our immune system and make us sick. You know what I'm saying? Your mental, your whatever the case may be, eventually affects the physical. The next thing, well, not the next thing, another area is you get headaches out of nowhere. That's one of my things. I know that I got a lot going on, or I need to really slow down if I get a headache, because I don't get headaches. Headaches is not a regular occurring thing for me. I don't deal with migraines. I don't deal with things like that. I don't deal with neurological problems. But I know if I get a headache, that's a clear indication. Cameron, you are stressed right now. You need to chill out. You need to rest. You need to turn the lights down, and you need to start to recover because you got a lot going on. You need to relax. Another thing is you probably are dealing with chest problems too. And these chest problems can be out of nowhere. These chests can be related to, heartburn. So in relation to food, but chest problems are a precursor to further issues. So this can be related to high blood pressure. This can be related to elevated cholesterol levels. This can be related to, hopefully not, but heart attacks. So that's a big red flag if you're dealing with chest pains, and you normally don't deal with chest pains. Like you're dealing with so much stress, like you're under so much tension, and you're just ignoring it. Your body is holding on to that. So definitely want to pay attention to that. The next one is you got stomach problems. Oh yeah, like you got the bubble guts, you got constipation, or you got diarrhea, or maybe if you've never dealt with stomach problems before, but you suddenly start having issues now. Yeah, you stressed, buddy. Like a lot of people don't understand the connection, and maybe we'll go into this in another episode. As a matter of fact, we will. But a lot of people don't recognize the connection between the mind and the gut. And when you're having gut problems, chances are you're having issues with your mind and your brain, and you're probably under a lot of stress. It definitely is a combination of things. A lot of people, you got to understand your health is interconnected. It's not just your mental health. It's not just your physical health exclusively. You have to deal with both together because they are interconnected. One is directly affected by the other. And last and certainly not least, the last one that I want to talk about today is your change in appetite. Specifically, overeating or undereating. Like you can go through so much, mental stuff. You can be going through so much stuff at work. You can be going through so much stuff in your household. I got a friend who was a first time mom. Well, not a first time mom. She's been a mom for a couple of years now, but this is her first child. And she posted when you've been dealing with your child all day and you forget to eat, and now you're looking at your child's leftovers. The food that they didn't eat is the first time that you've eaten today. And you got to understand that is not a healthy situation to be in, because you have to prioritize your nutrition and the food that you eat and so on and so forth. And like, for example, if you are a healthy eater, let me not say healthy eater, but you're a eater who eats out of comfort, that is an indication that you probably are stressed. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what we want. That's where we're going to close today. We're going to talk more about that piece in the next episode. Be sure to be on the lookout, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this week's episode, share it with somebody who you think could benefit from it as well. And if you want to support the show, please subscribe wherever you are watching or listening to this, and leave us a 5-star review. I'll see you soon.